Good afternoon, students. So after a long time, I am at school and I'm really happy. Later we will discuss why and under which circumstances I am locked here. Whatever. Later we will discuss. So we read up to, I think it was Lorenzo's speech. Lorenzo and Jessica, they were spending the best honeymoon which they could ever imagine. And here they are at Belmont, Portia's palace. They are enjoying the whole scenery, which is a moonlit night. They are sitting by the bank of a river. The whole landscape is getting inundated with the moonlight. Jessica and Lorenzo, they are discussing some mythological characters, as if there is a friendly competition is going on regarding who holds most of the mythological characters. There also, when Lorenzo thought, and Lorenzo discovered that I'm running out of my stock, Jessica has more stock than that of me, right? Then he tried to pinch her by telling that you eloped in such a moonlit night with another Christian, another penniless Christian, and you fled from Venice to Belmont. Then Portia also gave a very fitting reply by saying that yes, I might have done so, but remember it was you who plundered, who stole the very heart of that Jessica by your lofty promises. Now these promises are still unfulfilled. They are yet to be fulfilled, and you did not fulfill a single promise which you had made before Jessica. Because of your lofty promises, Jessica got swayed. She was carried away and she plundered her father's hard-earned wealth and fled with you, and who were a penniless by that person, by that time. So we will read what happens after that. Of course, Jessica told Lorenzo that I think someone is coming, and in that case, we need to think that we need to stop the discussion and let's see who is coming and with what kind of news that person is coming. Now Lorenzo is telling who comes so fast in the silence of the night, which describes how much Lorenzo is affected and is moved, I should say, is moved with the scenery of the landscape. To him, every single person should stop and admire the beauty of the night instead of moving so fast. That's why he's asking who moves so fast in the silence of the night. Stefano is telling a friend. Friend? What friend? Your name, I pray. You friend? Stefano is my name, and I bring word. My mistress will before the break of the day be here at Belmont. She doth stray about by Holy Cross, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours. So now Stefano is telling that I am bringing the news from my mistress Portia. Portia is coming back her own palace. All her vows which he fulfilled by kneeling down before the cross, spending the whole night praying before the cross, before the Christ, or moving around it. And after such an arduous journey, arduous prayer, it is Jessica who is coming back home. And I am here to give the news that she is coming home, which means you who are the inmates, you should arrange something formally in order to welcome the mistress of the palace. So, Jessica was keeping that vow. He was praying throughout the night for the betterment of her future, especially her conjugal life. For the betterment of her conjugal life, she was praying throughout the night, kneeling before the cross. Who comes with her? Lorenzo is asking. Stefano is telling that none but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned? So now Stefano is telling that I am asking you, I am requesting you to say whether my master, that is Bassanio, is coming with Jessica, with Portia or not. He is not, nor we have not heard from him. We did not get any news from her. There is no news from Bassanio. We did not hear anyone bringing his news. But go we in, let's go in, Lorenzo is telling, because he is aware of his duty, especially because he is in charge of the whole palace. It is his duty to arrange a formal welcome for the mistress of the palace who has left the charge of the whole affairs in his hands. It is his duty. Once the mistress comes back, is again back again in her own castle. It is the duty of the de facto ruler, the person on whom the charge of the affairs of the palace had been given, entrusted, to arrange a formal welcome for the actual mistress of the whole palace. So Lorenzo is telling, let's go in. I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of the house. Yes, that's what I was telling. That Lorenzo is trying to arrange something ceremonial, formal, in order to welcome Portia, who is coming back her own palace. Launcelot, sola, hola. This means caught you. Means Launcelot is actually bringing some comical effect here. Generally, these Lorenzo and Jessica, they fled from Venice. Jessica plundered her father's hard-earned wealth, and Shylock set a man, another Jew, that is Tubal, in search of this couple. So they were outlaw, they were fugitive, they were running from one place to another place, and behind them there was Tubal, who was sniffing them and hunting them like a hound. So now Lorenzo is telling, caught you. You have been fugitive, and now you are caught because I had seen you. Okay? So Lorenzo, who calls? Of course, he is a little bit panicked. Sola, did you see Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo, Sola, I have caught you, Master Lorenzo. Can't you see me? Leave hallooing, man, here. Without shouting too much, you come here and show yourself. Make your own appearance. Sola, where? Because this is the night, which is dark, and they could barely see each other because there are groups, beautifully decorated garden. So now Lancelot is asking that, where are you? Okay. Lorenzo is telling here, Lancelot again, tell him there's a post. Post means that is a metronymy. Post means message. By referring to post, the author wants to tell us message. A message has come from my master, which is horn full of good news. My master will be here ere morning. Ere means before. So there is lot of good news which is waiting for my master, and he is approaching. So now this is Lancelot who is bringing the news from Bassanio. It was Stefano who brought the news from Portia, and now Lancelot who is bringing the news from Bassanio. His arrival. Lorenzo, sweet soul, let's in, and thee expect they are coming. And yet no matter, why should we go in? My friend Stefano, signify, I pray you, within the house, your mistress is at hand, and bring your music forth into the air. Now Lorenzo is ordering every single person who is present there. Lorenzo is now aware that already Stefano and Lancelot, both of them have arrived. So I don't need to go inside and check whether everything is correct or not. Let us use that time by spending with Jessica and admiring the whole night, devouring the beauty of the night, that is moonlit night. So I better pass the responsibility to someone else, and that is Lancelot, Stefano, and all other attendants who are there inside the palace. That is where Lorenzo is telling, okay, you go and you prepare for some music. We need to welcome our mistress by playing the music, because it is night, she will be finding her way. It is the music that will creep into her ears and help her to find her way home. So that is how we can welcome them, even when Portia and Nerissa and all these persons who are coming, who are on their way, we can welcome them even before they reach their palace. That is what Lorenzo is planning. And that's why he is telling that you go, all the mistresses are at hand, you use them and prepare some music. After telling them after giving them the order, right now Lorenzo is turning towards Jessica and telling her again that how sweet the moonlight sleeps upon the bank. Moonlight sleeps upon the bank. It is an inanimate object which is being imposed with the qualities of animate one, especially the human quality. That is why we can call it a personification. A thing that is not person, we are making it person, which becomes and which makes it a personification. Moonlight sleeps upon the bank. Here we will sit and let the sound of music creep in our ears, soft stillness, and the night become the touches of sweet harmony. So there, everywhere there is stillness, nothing is moving, and at the same time there is absolute silence which is prevailing, and which is pervading the whole scenario. It is because of the all-pervading silence and the absolute movelessness, that is why stillness, what I should say, absolute stillness, and all pervading silence, which are working hand in hand. They are like harmony. Some divine inspiration, divine orchestra might have orchestrated the whole scenario, that everything, whatever is going on there, they are having a simultaneous effort. They are having a harmony that is creating so much beauty in the whole landscape. That's why he is telling that on one side there is soft stillness, and on the other side there is absolute darkness. These are harmony. And who has created the harmony? And when harmony comes? Only when there is music. Because music, those lyrics, those instrumental playing, these are the excellent and the utmost and the topmost example of harmony. Unless the orchestra is having a harmonious effect, the music will not have that kind of power to make people mesmerized. So because they are getting mesmerized with the beauty of the moonlit night, Lorenzo is thinking there must be some music which we might not have heard, but somewhere at the behind all this beautiful scenario, there must be some music which is being played by some divine inspiration. Because we are mortal, we cannot hear it, but because there is absolute beauty, absolute harmony, that kind of harmony and order can only be brought about by the inspiration that is coming from heaven, which is divine inspiration. So that's what Lorenzo is telling here. See, the sound of music creep in our ears, soft stillness, and the night becomes the touches of sweet harmony. Sir, see, Jessica, look how the floor of heaven, the thing that is roof of us for the mortal beings from earth, that is sky, which is the beginning of heaven, that is the floor of heaven. So by floor of heaven, he is actually mentioning the sky. How the floor of heaven is thick inlaid with patines of bright gold. How beautifully the patches of clouds full of water droplets are emitting typical colors with the moonlight. As they are reflecting the moonlight, they are looking like typical colors, some beautiful colors, those patches of clouds which are hovering over the skies so beautifully like cherub. See, there's not the smallest orb, again metonymy. Orb means the moon, which thou beholdest, but in the motion like an angel sings. So the way the things are happening here, I believe, Lorenzo, being a Christian, I believe there must be some divine inspiration, some divine intervention, some divine order, because of which everything looks so harmonious. And we cannot hear it because angels are singing, and who are able to hear the song of the angels? That is the another gods and goddesses. Means divine creatures can only listen to the songs sung by angels. We are mortals. This is the mud. This flesh is compared here with the mud, which means again biblical allusion. God said, from dust thou hast made, and to dust thou wilt return. Which means this is the elements of the nature using which I have made you, Adam, and because you disobeyed me, there will be a cycle in between your birth and your death. Which means the elements by which you were made, you will come back to those elements. All your stature will go back to those elements, 5 elements, and again you will be reborn. You have to go through the pangs of birth and death because you disobeyed my order. So this is the reason Lorenzo is telling. See what he is telling? That still querying to the young-eyed cherubim, such harmony is in immortal souls. Immortal souls, cherubs are immortals. But whilst this muddy vesture of decay, means our flesh which is mortal. We are not immortal, our flesh is mortal, it will decay. But those gods and goddesses, their flesh will not decay, but we will decay. So that is the process, and that is the reason we are mortal, that we decay. Doth grossly close it in, we cannot hear it. Enter musicians, come ho, and wake Diana with the human moon, goddess of moon. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress's ears, and draw her home with music. Draw her home with music. Show her way back her home through the music. It is music that will reach her, even when she will be away from her home. Once she hears the music, she will understand this kind of music is being played from my palace. If I follow the sound of the music, I will reach palace. That's how they are helping Portia to come home, to find the correct way, so that she does not stray about anywhere else except before the cross, which is mentioned earlier. Okay, that is why it is written, let her come home, let her help to come home, to find the correct path. that leads to her home, to her palace, by playing the music, by sending her the notes of the music, which will tell her that this is being played from my palace, and if I follow the notes, I will reach the palace. So that's how Portia is coming home. And these people who are living in the palace, they are arranging something formal in order to lead Portia way home, in order to welcome in her own palace. And there will be so many incidents that will follow, and especially those incidents will be comical, funny, because this act is full of comedy and nothing else. Because of this act we can call this drama a comedy. Otherwise there will be a question mark. There would have been a question mark actually. Whatever. So these comical incidents will continue, and we will continue to discuss all these things from all the points, from all focus, whichever the point of view are there. Like I told you, the biblical allusions are there. That's how all those point of views will be discussed here clearly, and I hope you have enjoyed it very much, because this time the class 10 especially, you are class 9, but class 10, they must read these acts very carefully. The board has plumbed your syllabus, which means they will be more focused. They will be more focused. Act 3, 4, 5 must be read, must be perused as many times as you can. Remember this thing. So that's all for my students. Tata.